The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
This episode of Hands On is brought to you by Ceres Lasal Football Club.
Holy moly, folks, here we go. It's a big show on Hands On. Personally, I'm very excited for this one. We have a huge guest on the program, and this has been a moment for me that I have to look all the way back to 2004 for you to understand just how big of a moment this is for me. Coach Hans, I had to thank you for bringing this beautiful man to our show. We're going to reveal him in just a little bit. Of course, today is a very special day. It's December 5, 2013, when we're shooting this. It is, to the day, 3 years since Philippines beat Vietnam 2-0 in Hanoi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where, there, in their hometown, in front of all their fans. It was quiet when they lost over there because the Philippines had done something that nobody had expected, and it was a magical moment for everybody here in the Philippines. So yeah, 3 years since that time.
I didn't know that.
A lot has changed.
I didn't know that it was the exact date.
Yeah, December 5.
So it's meant to be.
Meant to be.
Somebody said it upstairs.
So we're going to reveal the guest in a little while. If you follow the show, then you already know who it is. We want to thank Ceres Lasal Football Club, of course, for letting this show happen or helping us make this show happen. But we're going to start things off a little different today. We're going to start off with Football 101. Usually, ginagawa natin siya pag nasa end na ng program. This time, we're going to do it at the beginning. And Coach Hans is going to teach you guys about substitutions and the players on the field.
We go right straight, or is it?
Yeah!
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. For those who don't know, like the 3-year-olds. There are 11 players of a team that's playing. In the field, you have 22 players.
Total. Yes.
The picture that you see now is usually on the international matches or official matches. The first 11 always have to take their photo up for record purposes.
Right.
Now, all right. The 11 players are consisting of different positions. Actually, there are only about 4 positions, main 4 positions. Goalkeeper, that has an area where he can only handle the ball. When he's out of the penalty area, he can play with his feet.
Right.
He can still go up and attack, as like some other keepers have done in previous competitions, like even up to the World Cup level.
Right.
Well, that's only when desperation sets in. Now, the next positions are defenders.
Defenders.
You have different defenders, but usually you have a back 4. You'll hear about flat 4s. Flat 4s, you play flat. That's it. But you see, there's a stopper. There's a sweeper. A stopper's main duty mainly is to track down players like Caligdong, or who's this guy? Caligdong, yeah. Even if he plays in the wings, like Phil. That's the duty of the stopper. Mainly stopper to stop the striker, the main striker. Then you have the sweeper. Sweeper meaning he just sweeps all the loose balls. A sweeper usually takes a player one-on-one.
Right.
He sweeps, meaning...
Tagalinis.
Tagalinis talaga. Any ball that comes past his wingbacks and the stopper, his duty and responsibility is just to sweep that ball away, take it away from the defensive line, and go on attack, or just clear the freaking ball.
Right.
Now, the other 2 positions are wingbacks. Before, they're called fullbacks. Left fullback, right fullback. Now they're called wingbacks because the football has evolved, and now not only the strikers and the midfielders attack, but even the defensive line now attack.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the stopper is also called a libero, which was made big by Franz Beckenbauer of Germany.
All right, let's move on to the midfield. There
are different also depending on the coach's style of play. But in the olden days, you have the central midfielder, but nowadays you have 2 central midfielders. Yeah. One is a holding midfielder, meaning a defensive midfielder, both in the center. The other one's attacking midfielder, also playing from the center. He's like for the Filipino fan, easily to associate, like the point guard in basketball. Then you have wingers. Wingers, that's exactly what it means. Out in the wings, the right and the left.
They go up and down.
The midfielders usually are the workhorse. They're the ones that have to go up and down. They don't only stay in the midfield area, but they help in the attack and help on defense. So midfielders are usually the players that are mostly known, like Zidane and where these guys from Barcelona, from Spain.
Xavi, Iniesta,
And all these guys.
Messi.
You see all their balls are with them. So a lot of most known players. Beckham is also a midfielder. Okay, he can play from the middle, he plays in the wings because of his beautiful long balls. Just to name a few of players. Then the last positions are the strikers. Usually, like again, the olden days, you have 3 to 5 positions as strikers. But now usually you only have 2. And one main striker, like the likes of Phil, young husband, and other players are behind him, the other striker. But like I said, football nowadays more scientific. There's a lot more motion, more movement. But main responsibility and duty of a striker is that striker.
Score goals.
They score.
Yeah. So
that's their main responsibility. Okay.
Quick review: goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, and your forwards or your strikers. All right.
Yeah.
So there are 2 teams, each consisting of not more than 11 players each, and of course the official competition's maximum is 3 substitutions per game.
Official meaning FIFA or AFC matches.
Yeah.
Like the Suzuki Cup, the World Cup, CONCACAF, all the big competitions around the world, which is covered by FIFA. It's only 3 substitutions, that is including the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Now, if you watch the UFL games, there are 7 substitutions that are allowed in local domestic football. That's because we're still developing. Of course, allows the coaches to shuffle their lineup a little bit more. In basketball, you are allowed to substitute as much as you want. In football, there is a cap on the number of substitutions that you can make. Okay. If for FIFA friendlies though, you can make 6 substitutions.
6, maximum of 6. But if it's not a FIFA friendly, meaning official FIFA friendly match, you can have as much as 9 or even, depending on the organization, depending on both teams, if they agree. These are tune-up matches.
All right.
Okay. How do you say, matches for a cause? Like if like what our under 23 just did in Singapore, playing the under 23 of Singapore. The substitutions there can be unlimited because it is just for a cause. And also, for example, with a star celebrity game, that's the one like what we used to have here before. I don't want to mention because they're not sponsoring us. If they did, I'll mention that.
The flying substitutions.
The flying substitutions, okay? Regardless of how many substitutes you can play. So, because of course it's a celebrity thing. But official matches, like what Jing said earlier, if it's the international match, like the World Cup, 3. If it's an official friendly, 6 you can go substitutions. Of course, in any substitution, not like basketball, you just go to the official state scores table and say for sub. No, in football, there are forms to be filled up, it has to be signed by the coach. You gotta include the player that you're substituting, the name plus his jersey number, and then same thing with the player that's coming in, name, jersey number, and sometimes you have to even put the minute. Well, actually, the minute has to be filled up by the 4th official. Yeah. For all those who don't know, I'm stepping ahead of myself. There are 4 officials in football. I mean, officiating officials. The head referee, the 2 assistant referees, these are the called linesmen, and the 4th official. 4th official is in charge of all the paperwork. So during a substitution, the player has to come in. The coach, assistant coach, or whoever can come in and submit the substitution form or substitution card if you want. And then the player will be called in the middle. And only during a dead ball situation can a substitution be made.
Yeah.
There are special signals for the linesman to assist the head referee, wherein the linesman will have to raise his flag. Instead of holding this one, he has to hold his flag this way. The first assistant referee, meaning the assistant referee that's towards the benches, the one that's nearest to the main grandstand, okay, and to the match official's table, is called the first assistant. When he raises his flag this way, he holds his flag this way, the second assistant, that's the one on the far area, will have to follow that. So if the referee is looking away, he sees that, and during a dead ball situation, can call in for the substitution.
Yeah.
Okay, and just like volleyball, the player will not be sent in if the other player being substituted is still on the field. So it's like, exchange. By the line, by the sideline, you have to exchange. That's the only time you can come in when the other player has already crossed the sideline, except for injuries. Injured player who is brought out on a stretcher in another area of the field can be substituted at any time, and the player that's coming in can just enter without that injured player coming in, because, of course, obviously he's injured, he's in a stretcher, can't walk anymore.
Right.
So that's the only time he's going to be sent in. Okay? Now, of changing goalkeepers, the goalkeeper is the only one that is like injury time. When the goalkeeper is injured on the field, he is the only player on the field that can be treated on the field. Not like other players. For those who have been watching ASCAL's games, UFL games, otherwise, if you notice, a field player, the referee would always call for the stretcher to bring him out. But a goalkeeper, you're wondering why, why don't you resume the game right away and all that? The goalkeeper is the only player that is allowed to be treated on the field. Okay?
And he doesn't have to come out after treatment.
He doesn't have to come out, he just stays there. A player that is sent out an injury, for example, he has to come out, go back to the main line where the official substitution has been taken, and only the referee can say when he can come back in. He can come back in anytime, okay? Not necessarily when there's a dead ball situation. But if the referee sees it while even the game is going on, the referee can just signal his fourth official, okay, he can come back in. But these are only for players who are treated outside the pitch.
Okay, Football 101, there you go. Number of players, how the substitutions work. So if you're not familiar with football, then now you are. All right, so there you go, another edition of Football 101. When we come back, we've got the one and only Chieffy Caligdong on the show. Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Hi. They say nothing in this world is free, and for the most part, that's true. But here at NMF Network, all shows are indeed 100% free. And as an added feature, you have the option to subscribe to all your favorite programs, also at no charge. Why should you subscribe? By subscribing, you no longer have the hassle of delays when you stream the program. You also don't need to keep checking our site to see if your favorite programs are up, because they'll automatically be uploaded to your device as soon as it's available. Here's how to do it. For those people with Apple mobile devices, first you need to download the podcast app. Once you download the podcast app, open it, and you should be taken to the featured page. Now, you look for the store button. Hit the store button, and after doing that, hit the search button. Put your cursor on it and type New Media Factory. All our shows should automatically appear. Pick your favorite or favorites, open it, and hit subscribe. And that's it, you're done. Congratulations and welcome to the New Media Factory family.
I am the chief.
That's the preview to the song The Chief. It's amazing stuff. Jay Durius is on it. Stephanie Dan, I believe.
Yes.
As well as one more person. One more person is on this. But of course, the main star that we're all interested in is the one and only Chief himself. We've got Chieffy Caligdong on the show. Oh my goodness. Now, just a bit of a backdrop, why this show is so special to me in particular with Chieffy Caligdong. In 2004, I was in high school. I was watching the Tiger Cup, and this was back in the dark ages, as I like to call it.
In high school? So I was in college.
And these were back in the days of the dark ages of football when nobody really cared, right? So I was watching on ESPN or Star Sports or whatever it was, Tiger Cup, in my living room by myself. Nobody's watching, just me. And Timor-Leste had scored on us, and then there's this guy who was brought in, substitute, in around 70th minute or something like that. His name was Emelio Caligdong. Had no idea who he was, right? He's a thin guy, and I was like, we'll see what he's got, right? And he comes in, within minutes of being on the pitch, he scores the equalizing goal. I'm running around, I'm losing my mind, right? I've never seen the Philippines score a goal. So we were always just losing 4-0, 5-0. So, talon-talon ako sa living room, nagwawala ako. And to make it even better, a few minutes after that, Chieffy scored again to give us our first victory in forever, right? So ako naman, nagwawala ako doon. I was like, I'm never gonna forget that name. I'm never gonna forget that name. Emelio Caligdong, parati na nakatatak sa utak ko yun. So just to have you here next to me is an honor to be able to talk to you for this 1 hour that we have with Chieffy Caligdong. It should be a fun time.
1 hour and a half.
1 hour.
I'm gonna be late for the game. That's why we made the taping early. No? 1 hour's not enough to talk to Chieffy.
Yeah, I have to talk to you. Simulan na lang natin because it is National ASCALs Day. Nandun ka rin nung time na yon. You were on the bench in that game against Vietnam. Ano yung feeling nun? Like, it finally came to fruition. Lahat ng mga hinahabol natin, lahat ng mga preparation, finally nagawa natin na manalo sa Vietnam, kontra sa Vietnam, and we moved to the semifinals ng Suzuki Cup.
It's been 3 years na since ngayon it's National ASCALs Day today, in December 5. So, kumbaga, yun yung talaga yung goal ng national team. That is the first, yung goal namin na the first time makapasok kami sa semifinal. So, we have a very good chance that year, in that time, sa Suzuki Cup in Hanoi. So, yun, nakikita mo dun halos lahat ng players gusto talaga manalo, and yung heart talaga na yung gusto talaga makapasok kami sa semifinal. So, lahat nagbigay, lahat ng effort, lahat ng kahit yung mga kami substitute player lang, pero makikita mo sa bawat isang player na gusto talaga manalo. So, yun, we have a good chance to dalawang chance lang, pero yun, ipasok, i-fill in the Chris Greatwich, yung free kick, and yung pasa ni Ian Araneta on the side. So, we have a very good chance nung time, and yun, yung kahit yung staff nandoon to support us na ang biyahe namin palagi matagal, malayo. So, yung preparation talaga, it's very important sa team.
May iba tayo, pare. Kasi alam na natin lahat mga sinasabi. Yung mga passing, ganito. Ako gusto ko punta sa human part of it eh. Ano talaga, ako alam ko, player ako dati. I played before. Not FIFA lang ha, I played before.
Yes, of course.
Ang inaano ko, anong feeling mo? Sigurado ako, iba ang feeling mo and the other players ng ASCALs, yung mag-score tayo dito sa local tournaments like the UFL at sa iba. Ano ang feeling mo, lalo na pag yung importanteng laro na game na yun ang kailangan na para magkapasok sa next round na gano'n. Anong feeling mo talaga?
It's, sa akin, hindi ko naman palagi siya ginagawa since nung nag-start yun nga, every time na pinapasok ko in the second half sa regular game, 'di ba? So pinapasok ko sa second half. So every time I have chances talaga na scoring opportunity talaga na pag binigyan ako. So hindi mo naman makukuha yan kung wala sa mga teammates mo, hindi dahil sa mga teammates mo. So the very important is the good pass and the first touch, yung control mo, kasi merong magandang pasa pero yung sometimes hindi mo ma-finish eh. So yun yung pinaka-importante, the nice pass and yung first touch ng paano mag-finish. So sa akin pressure, pero kumbaga syempre you have to trust yourself palagi na pag nandyan ka na kailangan mo i-goal. So hindi ko naman sinasabi na pag nag-goal ko to, credit kagad sa sarili ko. It's in the team. It's a team.
Masyado ka naman bait.
Hindi naman sir.
Hindi naman yan tinatanong ko eh.
Pero I'm very, happy. Sobrang happy. Happy talaga na kumbaga, every time na I score. So, kumbaga, I really dedicate para sa sarili ko. And hindi lang para sa sarili ko, hindi sa team. Pero, kumbaga, it's a chance eh. it's a good chance talaga na pumunta sa akin yun. So, kahit sino naman siguro magbigyan ng chance na ganun. So,
ano nga yung feeling mo, pare?
sobrang saya. It's a very, kung talaga yung big game talaga yun, di ba? So, importanteng game like yung Suzuki Cup, yung sa against Vietnam, di ba? So, kailangan pag nanalo kami dun, pag na-draw, out na kami dun sa Suzuki Cup. So, must win. So, sobrang saya. The whole day na yun, gusto ko, hindi na lang matulog eh. Parang it's a dream lang para sa akin. Pero,
yung kasi, wala nagtatanong dyan sa mga player na yan eh. Wala akong narinig nagtanong dyan kay Phil. Anong feeling mo sa international goal at sa local goal? Pareho ba? Iba? Siyempre, sa local natin dito, ang daming upuan natitira compared to joke yun. Compared to sa international, daming tao. Yung sa atin dito, daming upuan na walang tao. So pag nag-score tayo, kahit televised or hindi man, pareho ba yung feeling mo? Hindi. Or ano yung mo?
Same, lang coach, same lang. Kumbaga, international goal is different para sa atin. Pero yung feeling, pag naka-goal ka sa
yung personal feeling mo.
Personal feeling. Iba yung kasi
flag in country.
Flag in country, 'di ba? Yung honor mo, yung pride mo nandiyan na syempre dinadala mo yung flag natin na nandiyan ka sa national team. Kailangan all out ka. Sa club the same. The same din yung kumbaga yung pinagkaiba lang yung crowd eh. Pero the same feeling. The same feeling yung kung maka-goal ka sa local tournaments and yung sa international. Pero para sa akin mas hindi naman ganun kakaiba yung feeling na sa international at saka yung sa local.
Yung fulfillment pareho.
Check that out. Guys from the Azkals, that winning team, and you see yung mga celebrations ng mga players natin, talagang parang iiyak na sila.
Iba talaga flag in country.
Iba talaga.
And of course, tagal na natin na hindi pa nakakatikim ng panalo. Tapos yun nga, lumusot pa tayo sa semifinals. Kaya naman talagang grabe yung mga celebrations nila. Ang hindi nyo na nakikita dito, sa Pilipinas naman, kami rin nagwawala. Nandun kami sa UFL game, sa Nomads pa ginagawa yung mga laro nun. Tapos,
naalala ko yung Suzuki Cup, yung huli natin Suzuki Cup. Ginawa akong taranta ng director yung nagko-commentate kami ni Jason Webb at ni Armand Del Rosario. Yung kinol ko na magsuscore si Phil, yung last game yata yun.
which is the recent one?
Where was that? Last year I covered it.
Yung recent na Suzuki Cup.
Pag closing ng show, pinakita pala eh.
Nagwawala kayo.
Minsan lang ako na mukhang tao, naka-coat na ako lahat, naka-long pants and all that. Kita kaming tatlo. Hindi, sa studio, tumalon talaga kami. Pagkatapos ng credits, pag ng credits, pinalabas. Kaya hindi ko makalimutan yung director. I'll get you back, Direk. Si Direk, andun sa EFL.
Well, of course, those photos were from 2010. Yung historic run natin dun sa Suzuki Cup. Noong time na yun, may game na sa UFL. May game na pinaplay, Union ata naglalaro. Kami ni Coco, the marketing manager of UFL, umiinom na kami dun sa bar, nanonood kami ng game. Sabi na, pagka-score ng Pilipinas, nagwala lahat ng tao, na-stop, nahinto yung laban, pumunta lahat ng players. Ano nangyari? Score tayo? Parang hindi sila makapaniwala. Score tayo sa Vietnam? So, pinatuloy namin yung game, umalis kayo. Bumalik kayo, maglaro kayo. Tapos nag-score ulit si Phil, yung husband naman, to seal the victory nung 70th plus minute. Nagwala na naman, stop na naman yung game. Hindi na namin sila pinabalik kasi too busy eh. Nagwawala na kami, alam na namin, panalo na to, lulusot tayo sa semifinals. We couldn't believe it. So yun, I mean, yun yung memory namin noon ng 2010.
Alam, pero yung katulad yung sasabi mo, I just want to bring it out, for anybody or any organizer, yung kasasabi mo lang, kayo nanonood, tapos may game. Once your national side is playing, there should not be any local games.
Ang hirap eh. Ang hirap mag-focus eh.
No, that's not support. How would like Chief here, how would Chief feel na alam nila, they're playing abroad, they're dying there for the flag and country. Tapos yung mga first people that would be watching and supporting the ASCALs or national teams would be the local players here. And they want to watch. It's just like Pacquiao fights, nobody wants to work.
Yeah.
Correct.
Tama
Diba? It is not good it's not a good moral boost for players like Chieffy, or even Phil, James, or it doesn't matter. It's blood, sweat, and tears. Literally, blood, sweat, and tears when you play for a national side. You're not getting paid for that. You're not getting anything there. It's all of just pride. So when there's pride here, for all those who want to organize, or the organizers now, please lang, pag may laro ang Ascals natin, ang national team natin, lalo na pag televised, huwag kayo magpa-schedule ng laro. Okay? Katrantaduhan yan.
Napagalitan tuloy kayo.
Talaga, sasabihin ko diretso sa inyo. Do not have any local games made. Because like in the World Cup, there's nothing going on around the world. There's no EPL, there's no whatever, nothing. Okay? Nothing. It's for the people to support and watch the sport of football. So, if it's a national team that goes out of the country or even locally to play here, national, playing for the flag and country, all football aficionados, enthusiasts, players, or what have you, should be there supporting. Okay? I am not Filipino, remember, but I don't like it if I don't get to watch the Ascals play. Okay? Even if I'm on official duty, like say in Rizal Stadium or whatever, in Panad, actually I don't want to work. I just want to, I want to watch, but that's my how do you say, contribution to Philippine football now, to help and what to do organizing and all that. But let me tell you, for some of the Filipino fans here, or Filipino, period, if I can feel this way about the Ascals or any other Philippine team, whether it's an individual athlete or sport, if I can do it, supporting and I'm feeling really good about it, I don't see any reason why you, the Filipino, cannot.
Yeah.
Okay, so shout out to the organizers, please. Wag na. Basta may Ascals game, laruin na lang natin. Panoorin lang natin yung laro.
Ano ang pakiramdam nung pagbalik nyo, nung 2010? Pumunta kayo sa Vietnam yung time na yun, wala pa masyadong media attention, hindi pa kayo masyadong kilala, aside from people like me and people who like football. Kami lang yung nakakaalam kung sino kayo. Pagbalik nyo, kilala na kayo ng buong bansa. Anong pakiramdam nyo?
Everyone want to come in.
Oh.
Gusto na lahat pumasok, lahat gustong, but show naman na yung support nandyan, pero sometimes nakakasama eh.
Yung binabanggit ni Chieffy, yung bandwagon.
Paano nakakasama?
What's it called?
Sometimes nung nandyan na dapat, yung problema kasi sometimes yung kung saan na makikilala, doon na lang papasok. Dapat from the beginning pa lang.
Ang
Kung gusto mong pumasok, gusto mong tumulong, gusto mong mag-support, from the beginning.
Yes.
Di ba? Hindi yung patapos na, doon ka papasok.
Ang
So
dami,
yung sometimes
dami
nakakasama ng loob. Hindi naman tayo nag-ano. Pero, alam naman natin na nandoon na. Pero sana, ibahin naman minsan, ibahin naman natin. Kasi, minsan, nakikita natin yung mga taong hindi natin makikita, nandoon na. So,
ang
nagugulat
masaklap pa
tayo.
yan, Chieffy.
Diba?
Ang masaklap pa dyan, yung mga iba dyan, may gana pang magsabi sa inyo kung ano yung dapat.
Tama. So, hindi na lang mag-support, hindi na lang dapat i-boost up yung mga players. Yeah, congratulate mo yung players, pero sometimes meron pang magsasabi na dapat ganito yung gawin nyo, dapat ganito yung So, minsan, hindi, as a player, we respect them. We yung sinasabi nila, kinukuha namin yung advice nila. So, pero minsan, hindi lang lahat yung sinasabi nila is tama.
So you're talking about yung mga companies, mga sponsors, or people from PFF?
That's what I'm gonna say. May mga iba-ibang type yan ng mga bandwagoners eh. Yung mga, first one will be yung mga dating player.
Okay.
Or dating coach na nawala ng 2 dekada, 3 dekada, tapos papasok na sila, tapos parang gusto pa nila turuan ang now. Ito mga reaction ni Chieffy. Tama ako.
Kung kailang umangat na, kung kailang nasa limelight na yung football, naghahanap sila ng atensyon.
Yung mga tao na dati naglaro, 19 kopong-kopong, tapos biglang sasabihin, never sila nawala sa football scene, pero they don't want to touch Philippine football with a 10-foot pole, you know what I'm saying? Pero ngayon, lumabas, putas, may pera na. May
Oo.
ganito na, may ganito na. Celebrities na, may ganun. Sponsorship, may pasok na. Tsaka papasok. That's the other type
I
of
see.
personality that came in when ASCALs and Philippine football went up. These are the capitalists. Ginagamit. Nag-usap lang tayo, kakausap lang natin naman kanina. Mga capitalists, gumagamit ng mga tao ng ASCALs organization. Hindi lang ang players, pero ginagamit rin sila Dan. Palami. Okay? Kung saan-saan. Ginagamit yung PFF. Sa mga ibang tao dyan. Marami yan. Ang tingin ko dyan, because I see it from the back line, from backline, from the back, na yun. Dating player na nawala sa scene na talagang wala, like I said, naging kopong-kopong, pero ang style, iba, tapos nagmamarunong pa. Tapos, yung isa naman, yung mga business-minded people naman, who just want to take advantage of the situation. Okay, for people who are business-minded, but who came in and helped, like players like Chieffy, or the others, and bring the field foreigners in and all that I don't mind. I salute you. Okay? Pero yung mga tao na promises, pero actually wala, para sa sarili lang, tapos mawawala na bigla. Maniwala kayo, ngayon sa UFL, kami, yung club namin, ang nadali, may gumamit ang name ng Green Archers. Ang kawawa dito, 2 African players, okay, na siningil pera, lahat, tapos nawala bigla yung tao. Nung sa club, babae pa. Babae pa. I'm not being sexist again, ha? Baka may humirit na naman dyan. Babae pa na hindi namin kilala. Okay, so, these are things we have to be more careful now na it's a main, it's a main, football's a main sport, it's a main business type of thing now. So, yung mga taong yan, ganyan, I can feel what Chieffy and the others are feeling na, tanginan nyo, wala kayo dati, humingi kaming tulong sa inyo dati, hindi nyo kami pinansin. Ngayon, big time ng Philippine football, big time ng ASCALs, biglang kayo lalapit, at kung sino-sino kayo. Okay? I'd like to mention names, but you know who you are if you even watch the show.
Wow.
But you people
holding back.
You guys
First time.
You guys have to shut the fuck up. I mean, you guys. I don't know if it happens in other countries with other sports.
I'm sure it does. I mean, it seems like a natural thing, Pag may lumaki, there's a chance for you to take advantage. Gagawin mo eh.
Ano tawag doon? Ano yung term dyan sa Tagalog? Yung ganon, yung mga ganon
opportunista.
Oh, hindi, there's another word. Opportunista is a nice word eh.
Manggugulang?
Ha? Hindi.
Manggugulang.
Iba pa. If you know my vocabulary, I'm looking for another word. Basta, bottom line, asshole kayo. Yun lang.
Okay, so maybe that's the negative aspect, right?
Negative,
I mean,
yes.
positive naman. Like, pagbalik nyo nga, yun nga, alam ko nakita ko first hand, yung pagbalik nyo, may mga games yung UFL sa UMAC, sa Rizal, tapos talagang bumababa yung mga fans, kinakamayan kayo.
So very, nakakataba ng puso. Very happy kami lahat na welcome, yung warm welcome siyempre sa pagbalik mo sa lugar, sa bansa mo.
Never nyo naramdaman dati.
So, yung hindi mo naramdaman dati na naglalaro ka lang dati sa local tournaments. Dito talaga makifeel mo na isa kang player, isa kang mandirigma na dala mo yung flag in country, di ba? Na kumbaga, dati na hindi mo iniisip, nangyayari na ngayon. So, sobrang saya, sobrang sa sarili na ganito pala kami ngayon, yung tulad ng dati na walang nanonood. Ngayon sobrang dami, sobrang yung support from the yung mga lahat ng mga futbolista, lahat na supporters nandyan palagi. So, sobrang saya.
Teka, may tanong ako sa'yo bago mawala sa utak ko Siyempre, mga star na kayo. Okay, may mga commercial na kayo, celebrity na kayo. Siyempre, mga fans, gano'n, di ba? Katulad ng mga rock stars, pare. Di ba? Pag sa concert, may nagtatapon ng panty sa stage, yung mga gano'n. Yung sa inyo, huwag kang hindi mo napapanoorin ni Nene at yung dalawang bata. Huwag kang off mo muna. 5 minutes. Yan o.
No, wala.
Wala na gano'n sa iyo?
Wala.
Naknangweteng ka, tapos...
Wala nga.
Pag ikaw, pagkatapos ng show, tapos inamin mo sa akin,
Wala.
show, ibubuking kita. Tapos sasabihin ko kay
Wala.
Panoorin mo.
Wala.
Okay, no, joking aside, Chieffy is a family man. I've seen him with his kids all the time and his wife. He is one, I don't know about the others, ha?
Isipin mo kasi I'm working with you, isipin mo.
Ay, show ko to. Huwag mo akong rin. Ikaw titigay ko. Hindi. Si Chieffy is a family man. For all some don't know, Chieffy's got 2 sons who are crazy like ever-ready batteries. I don't know where they get the energy. Alam mo yung commercial? Ching, one more, walang tigil yung mga anak nito. Tapos, yung mga iba, mga single, siguro, next time mo i-invite natin, yung mga single.
Siguro naamin yun.
Papaaminin natin. Okay, kung sino man. Ang guest natin dito, yung mga single na askals. Kahit former askals.
Ayun.
Ibubuking natin. Football to ba? Showbiz show to. Okay?
Pwede.
Hindi, pero yan ang ako, Chieffy, aminin ko, isa sa mga frustrations ko, besides being a rock star, obvious ba? Uy, marunong ako kumanta dati ha. Tumigil kayo, may banda ako dati.
Talented si Coach. Gifted.
Another one is being a professional athlete. Mainly football. Frustration ko yan. It just so happened that I came in the wrong time. Okay, so, ang sarap ng pakiramdam. What best way to live your life when you are working in what you love doing? Am I right? Is that correct what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're earning a living. It's like playtime lang.
Playtime, araw-araw. PE.
Parang PE class lang, pero kumikita ka doon.
Oh.
So, like Cristiano. Oh, by the way, Cristiano Ronaldo won the MVP in the EPL.
Oh.
Most
EPL? La Liga naman.
La Liga, sorry.
Grabe.
It was all in Spanish eh.
Grabe sa jump, ha? Grabe sa jump. Hindi tayo.
Ganun lang yan. Hindi man tayo sa showbiz eh. And Messi, best player. Ronaldo, MVP. Messi, best player. Okay? Tama na yan. Wala namang alam sa Spanish. Konyo. Anyway, saan ako? Nawala na ako.
Ang gulo mo eh.
Ganun ba talaga magkikwentuhan eh? Well, buti nga, wala pang beer tayo eh. May beer pala. Baka si Chieffy tataranta na yan.
Hindi, yung sinasabi mo, first station mo maging athlete.
Yan.
Yun.
So, ikaw, naisip mo ba yun nung bata ka? Na magiging yung livelihood mo. Kasi siguro tayo, nung ikaw, from Barotac and everybody, especially Barotac, they just love to freaking play football. Naisip ba ng mga ibang bata na katulad mo, nung bata ka, na magiging livelihood mo yung football? Yung aangat yung pamilya mo, siyempre, yung bata, hindi mo pa alam kung magkakapamilya ka sarili mo. Pero yung, dahil sa ginagawa mong football lang, naisip mo ba yun? Or wala lang, it just happened?
No, naisip talaga ko. Sa passion talaga. Na, kumbaga, siyempre, may hinahangaan ako eh. So like, yung brother ko, since he is a former national player, studying in the UST before. So, kumbaga, may sinusundan. So, every time na uwi siya sa town namin sa Barotac. So, kumbaga, pagdating, sama ko sa training. So, iniisip ko na sana someday maging team captain din ako ng school, varsity. So, ng football team na sa isang malaking university. And nung pumasok ko nangyari na yon sa brother ko, yung nawala na siya. So, sabi ko, ito na. So, kumbaga, kasi different story yung sa istorya ko sa ibang bata siguro. So, sa long story yung sa akin, iba yung istorya, iba yung kwento. So, yung sa akin talaga, nung tinuruan ako ng brother ko noon na maglaro ng football, tuloy-tuloy na. Kumbaga, yung isip ko noon na balang araw, kung ano yung nakukuha ng kapatid ko, ano yung naabot niya, kailangan ko lampasan. So, ano lang, just happened na yung unang target ko maging makapasok lang una sa national team. Yun yung unang naisip ko noon. Nung nakapasok ko sa national team, pero siyempre galing probinsyano, 'di ba? So hindi mo alam, minsan natatakot pa ako. Nung first time na naglaro ako sa pool sa training pool ng national team. So, yeah.
Seniors,
Seniors. So, yeah, nakat ako. Hindi ako nadala sa first Tiger Cup noong 2000. So, hindi ko inisip na...
Huwag mo banggitin ko sa inyo yung mga coaches doon.
Okay. So, hindi ako nagkaroon ng hindi ako nagkaroon ng, sabihin ko wala ng pag-asa kasi sabi ko, meron talaga. There's always next time, sabi ko. Meron pa. Meron pang after 2 years, meron pang Tiger Cup. 2004, 2002, nakasama ko pero hindi rin ako nakapasok. So, siyempre, juniors So, bata pa ako dun. So, noong 2004, nag-try ako ulit. So, second try. So, pangatlong try na napasok ko sa national team. Sabi ko, if bigyan ako ng break, ito na. Yun yung ano ko. Tapos, nung nakapasok na ako, nagawa ko na naabot ko na yung pangarap ko. Sabi ko, sana someday, gusto ko maging team captain ng Philippine National Football Team. So, ano lang, kung sabi mo nga coach na, kung gusto mo, mahal mo yung trabaho mo, makukuha mo. So, kumbaga, yung passion ko talaga na maglalaro ng football nandoon, siyempre, hindi alam ng mga ibang coaching staff ko na nasa service pa ako. Hindi nila alam na nag-extra ako. Extra training. Shooting. Really, yung hard work nandun. Yung kahit tanghali, nagja-jogging ako. So, kumbaga, kasi may goal ka sa sarili mo yung gusto mo abutin. So, ayun. Kung ano yung nakikita, siyempre, yung ano nakikita ng ibang bata ngayon, siyempre, tutularan ako kasi yung istorya, maganda Like na yung iba, kumbaga yung ibang istorya, iba rin yung istorya ng buhay ko. So ngayon, yung sinasabi ko every time na may mga football clinics, every time na may mga archers football clinic kami sa mga town, sa mga probinsya. So yun yung ano namin talaga. Sinasabi na dapat ganito yung gawin mo, hindi lang kaagad na kailangan din ng may hirapan ka muna bago mo maabot yung gusto mong pangarap mo. So, yun yung sinasabi. So, ano yun, coach? Iniisip ko talaga yun na kung maabot ko man yung pangarap ko na ganito, hindi ko kalimutan kung saan ako nangyari. So,
pero naisip mo talaga na kung saan ka ngayon, naisip mo yan dati, yung nasaan ka ngayon na may pamilya ka, okay na yung buhay nyo, nakakatulong sa buong pamilya mo.
Ambassador.
Maraming kapatid niyan. Chief of Police.
Ay,
Chief of Police yung tatay.
Talaga? 10 kayo?
Chief of Police, di ba?
Lolo.
Lolo.
Wow.
Yung ginawa ng mga magulang ni Chieffy, family planting, hindi family planning. Hindi pa kasi uso yung planning. So, planting.
Nice one, coach. Nice one.
So, Chieffy, ang konti lang naman, 10 lang sila.
10 lang.
I'm the youngest.
Youngest.
Okay, so, katulad I'm gonna jump again right away. For those who don't know, this is trivia also. Naging teammate ni Chieffy, ngayon, head coach ng Air Force, and part of coaching staff with Ascals.
Coach Edson?
Si Bracky.
Coach Bax.
Okay, Bracky, if you don't know, folks, but at 17, I think at 17, a few years maybe after he played in the Go for Gold National here, he was invited to go to Germany and to try out for a club there.
Wow, really?
But after about 2 or 3 months, I think, or shorter,
Coach.
he came back here.
Homesick.
Homesick siya, which I said, gago ka. Kasi sabi ko, nakita ko siya dito, nasa Air Force na. Nung bata, sabi ko, ano ginagawa mo dito? Kala ko nasa Germany ka. Naalala ko pa to This was years and years and years ago. And he cannot deny, Bracky, huwag ka mag-deny. Igigess kita dito, papayaan kita. Yung sinasabi ko, na, bakit ka bumalik dito? Sabi ko ni Bracky, Coach, ang pangit ng laro ko he was very young, homesick pa. Teenager lang si Bracky na nasa Germany. Okay? Then I said, bakit ikaw nag-decide na ang pangit ng laro? Dapat pinag-decide mo yung mga coaches. So, pwede ka naman maglaro sa iba. Okay? And then, another barotak. Anong tawag dyan? Barotakan?
Product?
No, barotakon?
Bartaknon.
Ha?
Barotaknon.
Oh, yun. Kung ano sinabi Chieffy.
Barotaknon.
Oh, yun. But who was successful in Germany, for those who don't know, is the brother of our current Philippine Football Federation president, Tony Araneta. It was all by chance because his wife was a nurse who ended up working in Germany, and he followed her to Germany. And of course, as anybody who knows who comes from Barotac, you're gonna die if you don't play football. So naglaro-laro siya doon, may nakakita, and he played, and he became a celebrity in his community. Nobody knows that. There has been a local Filipino, born here, bred here, learned his football here in the Philippines, who made a name for himself also in Germany. I think he played second division, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Second ba? Si Tony Boy, okay?
Wow.
Played second or third division in Germany. And he played for quite a number of years.
B-boy.
Si B-boy.
Boy.
Yes.
B-boy.
Si
Manong
B-boy.
B-boy. Brother of ano?
Yes.
Sir Nono.
Yeah. He's back now here, no?
Yep.
He's back in Barotac now already, retired and all that. But these are some of the Filipino players that have done well in abroad. Another one is Filipino, but Tisoy, na goalkeeper. He was the biggest goalkeeper I think the Philippines ever had. Is Oliver Gay, I don't know. He went to Australia, pero minalas siya. First official game niya, na-injured stretcher siya. Pero the Australians, in the club that he was playing in, they knew his worth. Bale, teammate nila, panahon nila yon, si B-Boy Araneta, Nonong Araneta, Bert Honasan. Bert, ang dami mong mention sa akin talaga dito sa show na to.
Ikaw, Chieffy, ikaw rin, ano ka rin, di ba? Like, after yung na-expose ka internationally, may mga clubs din na foreign na gusto ka kunin.
South Korea. South Korea. Pero, nung nasa service ako, hindi ako pinayagan ng...
Agent ang lumapit sa'yo?
Yeah.
Coach?
Coach
mismo?
With Coach Brax pa.
Okay.
Kasama kami ni Coach Brax, kinausap kami. Kukunin kami ng isang club sa South Korea. Kaso, nung in-approach namin sa Air Force, hindi kami pinayagan ni Coach Brock. So, sayang. So, pero First Division. K-League.
Kailan ka ba nag-umpisa sa Philippine Air Force?
2002.
2002.
That was nung nag-offer sa amin 2010 and 11.
Yeah. So how many years, for those who don't know, how many years were you really in service?
10 years and 2 months.
10 years, 2 months.
Last year.
10 years, 2 months, how many days, how many hours, how many minutes?
Kailangan kasi bilang ko.
Para malaman ng mga tao.
Kailangan bilang 10 years, 2 months, and 7 days.
Ganon.
So pag hindi ka nag-training, hindi ka naglalaro, ano yung mga tasks na pinapagawa sa inyo sa Philippine Air Force?
May mga duties. Military duties. Vigil, office guard, OG, sometimes maglo-loading sa aircraft, yung mga kunwari may mga mga typhoon sa so kami yung
Pero yung assignment nyo as a team or pwedeng individual sa iba?
No, it's pag command activity wala kang magawa. Command activity, Air Force command activity, pag buong EFP mag-command, so walang football. So pag duty.
Hindi, pero yung sinasabi ko yung assignment.
Magkakasama kayo.
Okay, Caligdong,
iba.
dito ka. Magkamontitod ka. Iba. Pero minsan, siyempre, meron rin kayong assignment na sabay sa team.
Oo, sa team.
Meron din.
Yeah, meron din.
Okay. Tapos, security naman ninyo, meron naman kayo pag sa military.
Meron.
Tapos, ang inarba, kasi I remember, I don't know which unit of the military is called Special Forces or ganun rin sa Air Force, Army, Navy. Pag athletes,
Special Services Group.
Special
Air Force,
Services Group, sorry.
AFSSG.
Okay.
Pag sa Army, parang sa ASCOM, parang ganun sa
I remember kasi, nasa PFF ako dati, when I was working with the PFF, lahat mga military players ng national teams, yung detail nyo sa PFF or sa PSC? PSC. Anong tawag doon nga, Chieffy? Anong tawag doon ulit? Yung
meron kami DS, Detached Service.
I'm not that old ba? I still remember DS. Hanggang DS lang, pero yun lang naalala ko, DS.
Detached Service.
Yeah, kasi dumadaan sa akin yan eh. I remember I had to help some of you guys to go to the main, to the General Air Force sa Villamor.
Sa Villamor, and kailangan through PSC, kailangan magsasign yung General Headquarters, GHQ, para to release kami para makalaro sa national team. So every time na magpunta kami ng abroad, kailangan meron kaming travel permit kasi nasa government. So pag wala kang travel permit from DND, Department of National Defense, and PSC and daming kaya si Coach Hans, alam niya ni Coach Hans kasi tinutulungan niya kami before.
I had to go to Villamuel, go to the general's office mismo because sometimes there's a mistake in communication or paperwork has not reached. Bakit yung mga ibang military okay pero ito hindi? Kasi sabay-sabay naman to. So I had to be the one to fix it up. I had to go there. Pero yun ang sinasabi ko dati, ang hirap maging national athlete sabay military. That's very, very difficult.
So you spent 10 years with the Air Force. We're gonna take a short commercial break. When we come back, medyo pag-uusapan natin yung ano yung tension in between the armed forces, yung naglalaro kayo. Kasi nung bago pa yung UFL, yun talaga yung mga bakbakan na ibang klase. Army kontra Air Force or Navy. So we're gonna talk about the armed forces rivalry when we come back. Don't go away.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the game Chubby Bunny. But
what's like?
have you played Chubby Bunny before?
No.
You put a marshmallow in your mouth, you say Chubby Bunny, and you keep putting it in your mouth, and you keep saying Chubby Bunny.
Okay.
Whoever can fit the most in their mouth wins. But we're not gonna say Chubby Bunny. We're gonna have a conversation.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you, okay ka na ba?
Okay.
And you're gonna be like, okay na.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go.
2 at a time.
Alright, I'll learn 2 at a time. Okay ka na ba? What?
Okay na. I just saw it.
Okay ka na ba?
Okay na.
Okay ka na ba?
Okay na.
Okay. No, you're disgusting.
What you've been missing on The Factory.
Now we're gonna show you guys the new beta that just came out yesterday. Is God of War Ascension, the private beta
for PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus.
Let's watch it, right? It's nice. Enrique playing already.
Yes.
Yep. There you go. And perfect timing. Perfect timing. Well, before that, I was kicking ass. So go with the theme of the show. How not to play.
It's Robot Rice and Friends with Alfonso Martinez, Mickey Han, and Nigel Zalameo. Fridays, 6 to 7 p.m. Only here on The Factory.
All right, back on the show on Hands On, Chieffy Caligdong on the program. We're going to be talking about the Armed Forces rivalry in just a little bit. I just wanted to mention, yung inspiration na dinala sa'yo, ikaw yung driving force mo, yung kuya mo. And yun nga, yung kinikwento mo sa amin, the way na nasa utak mo, determined ka na ganito yung mangyayari. One of the guests we had here, si Coach Hans Weiss of the national team, he was saying na ibang mga homegrown players kaya hindi sila nagde-develop kasi parang kulang sa mentality, yung mga ganyan. So, yung mentality mo obviously is parang talagang desidido ka na. Ito na yon. This is the way it's gonna go forward. Pag bumabalik ka ba sa Barotac Nuevo, yung na-inspire mo yung mga kids. So, iba na yung yung standard nila ngayon. Nag-iisip sila kung gusto nila ituloy ang football. Alam na naintindihan na nila ngayon dahil sa'yo kung ano yung kailangan.
Yep, so, parang ngayon, nag-iisip na sila ngayon kasi like, meron tayong pro league, like UFL, di ba? May nakikita nila na yung mga players from overseas players pumunta dito. So we have a big chance also from like sa Iloilo, from Bacolod, like Ceres, di ba, pumupunta pa dito. So nakikita yung mga homegrown na players na pumapasok. So sa amin, like ngayon, sa Stallions is from Iloilo, di ba? So nakikita nila, so it's parang sa kanila, kumbaga, future. Iisipin nila yung future nila. Dati laro-laro lang. Ngayon, yung iniisip nila ngayon, paano sila ngayon, pag after nila mag-aral, after nila mag-varsity, meron silang iisipin kaagad na may papasukan sila sa...
Simple lang yan, Jing eh. Ang feeling ko, si Chieffy kasi, meron siyang hinahabol na gusto abutin.
Oo.
Okay? Yung mga iba kasi that's why Coach Wise mentioned that. Kasi yung mga iba naman, hindi siguro nila naisip. I think it's the next generation of players from the provinces like Barotac kids that are now going to think this way, what Chieffy is doing, because Chieffy is going around, and his testimony would be enough, how do you say, to let the kids follow his footsteps. Ang problema kasi, yung mga ibang local players natin, hindi nila iniisip yon hanggang dyan lang.
Parang kulang yung ambisyon.
Kulang sa ambisyon. Dapat kasi sometimes you have to take talaga, yung recipe ka talaga na kailangan mo ilagay dito.
The box.
Yep. Tama.
When we are inside, beyond the box. Anyway.
Tama, parang kailangan kasi minsan, ano na tawag dito? Parang maglagay ka ng term yung, kailangan hindi lang palagi yung, kailangan daan ka muna yung tawag term na dadaan ka muna sa butas ng karayong para bago mo maabot yung pangarap.
May mga hurdles. Yes. May kailangan kang...
Kaso yung iba, when yung ma-face nila yung ganong kaagad, nagsa-stop Pero dapat meron pang
Ang problema kasi sa atin ito, mentality with the younger ones, younger generation of players. I mean, they, iba yung sa showbiz. Sa showbiz, pretty face, guwapo ka lang, kahit hindi ka marunong kumanta, naging celebrity ka, kumikita ka. In sports, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
No freaking way that you can be an internationalist or a club member without working hard on your craft. Okay, Michael Jordan's he wasn't born Michael Jordan. David Beckham wasn't born David Beckham. Messi wasn't born Messi. You know what I'm saying? You have to work hard because this is sports. This is sports, whether it's a team sport or an individual sport. Okay, it's not in showbiz that you get picked up from the streets. Sa football and other sports for that matter, hindi pwede yun. Hindi pwede yun. Kaya yung difference niyan for the others, I mean, sayang lang for the others. I mean, I've seen a lot of potentially great players local natin. Not only from Barotac, a lot from Barotac, but from other places as well. Okay? But sometimes it's also the influence of the parents. Okay? That's why a lot end up in the military. I've talked to a lot of players who played in the Air Force, Army, Navy. Sabi ko, bakit nandito ang sarap ng buhay mo sa probinsya? Scholar ka, may dorm allowance, lahat. Pero gusto ng mga magulang kasi gusto ng mga retire tatay. Not entirely also the fault of the individual athlete for that. Because may influence ng tatay. Ay na magtrabaho, pumasok sa military.
Easy solution.
Maraming ganun. So it's not their fault. So, yung ambition nila, parang nawawala. Kasi they have to be the good son that they are. They just have to follow orders of their parents or their dad, right? So hanggang dyan lang. Pero kung wala yun, and they were given the decision, like Chieffy here, na to look at something, beyond, like I said, beyond, just think outside the box already. Na, kaya, who would have thought, Chieffy, look at his frame.
Like, yun nga So,
diba? Dalawang hita ko, isang katawan lang, parang gano'n. Hindi, joke lang. Pero yung sinasabi ko, look hindi ako nang insulto kay Chieffy, I am not one. Chieffy, how tall are you? 5, ano ka lang?
5'5".
5'4", 5'5". Okay?
5'5".
And you're less than 130 pounds. Tama? Okay.
Kaya nga idol to
That's right. That's right. No, you look at this, people watching, especially the young ones, especially football players. Who would have thought a player like in Chieffy's physicality can make well in international, where you see in international heft, brawn, height counts a lot. Okay, but Chieffy has held his own. Okay, and he still can hold his own up to this day. I think for the younger ones, you need to just really go. Have the ambition, you can do it.
Tsaka medyo obsessive ka rin Yun nga.
You gotta be crazy a bit.
Yung binabanggit mo nga na, yun nga, nakat ka 2 beses, pero nandun ka, nagtitrain ka mag-isa, individually. Kamusta naman yung Kasi nakikita ko rin, madami may potential, medyo may few years na rin ako nakakakita ng mga players that perhaps when they're younger, 21, 22, you think, okay, sky's the limit. Pagdating ng mga 24, 25, nakikita mo, mabisyo to mabisyo to, nakikita ko, umiinom, nag-yosi. Tapos hindi na nag-aano masyado yung career.
Yes.
Ikaw rin ba, parang very particular ka na hindi ka nasasama sa mga
Sa isip ko dati, nung nakat ako, sabi ko sa sarili ko, hindi ako matitigil hanggat hindi ko makukuha yung gusto ko. So, yun lang yung sa isip ko. So, yeah, aminin ko, nung nasa Air Force ako, bihira ako mag-nightlife. Yung iinom ako, bihirang-bihira. Kasi, kumbaga, meron ka talagang gusto mong gawin. Yun yung sa isip ko. Yun talaga yung sa sarili ko. Pag nakuha ko to, yeah, wala namang reward kung wala kang gagawin. And then, yung reward palagi sa huli. Diba? So, pag nakuha mo yung gusto mo, yung reward darating at darating. So, yun yung sa isip ko. Sabi ko, pag pinaghirapan ko to, pag pinaghirapan ko talaga ng gusto to, makukuha ko to.
We know what Chieffy's character is and his beliefs is...
Incredible.
It's in English and in Tagalog, it starts with the same letter. P. Parang sa Philippines, no? Filipino. Pero yun, Tagalog, pursige. English, perseverance. So, you young ones out there, like in the schools, and for the parents, okay, FYI, if Chieffy can do it, don't push your children too much and take them out and let them join another sport because they didn't make it the first time. Okay?
Every time na sinasabi ko nga sa kanila ko, every time na mag-talk ako sa mga kids, sabi ko, wala namang iba namang makapag-push sa inyo, kundi sarili nyo lang.
Exactly.
Yeah. Di ba? Sino yung, kahit pipilitin ka ng parents mo na gaganito yung gawin mo, pero pag hindi mo gusto at hindi mo ipupush yung sarili mo, no? You can't get it.
Ang problema kasi ngayon, Chieffy, especially in private schools, okay? Ang problema ngayon, it's sometimes the parents, not the kids, And I can talk from experience. And you cannot deny it. Parents, you cannot deny. I've been there for so long, over 3 decades, I've seen it. Kawawa yung bata. Okay? At yung mga bata naman, siyempre, wala kang magagawa.
Sunod.
Diba?
Masunurin.
Sumunod lang.
Maganda naman maging masunurin. Pero minsan, kailangan, marunong ka rin na pumili ng sarili mo.
May ibang bata naman talaga. Every time, there will always be somebody taller, bigger, stronger, faster, better. Okay? But you need to stand on your own. And if you're not taken in the first time, like what Chieffy said, tandaan nyo, sabi ni Chieffy, pangatlong beses, doon lang siya nakuha para sa ASCALs. 3 times. At huwag nyo isipin yung 3 times na yan, after a few months lang. Hindi. Depende
6 years.
It depends on what's needed
6 years.
Hindi, years back. Yeah, years back, ang ASCALs natin, we're not as active as we are now.
Yeah.
We're not that active. So, ang international exposure,
on and off.
Once in a blue moon, I would say. Talagang grabe. Kaya yung ranking natin, napaka,
200 plus. Kasi hindi siya like ngayon yung sinasabi ni coach na ngayon, every year, every 3 months, meron tayong friendly games. Before, tama rin sa ni coach, once in a blue moon yung training, yung friendly games, yung tournament, minsan, hindi pa tayo, nagpa-fine lang tayo sa mga Suzuki Cup. Hindi tayo sumasali. The PFF will pay lang sa fines kasi hindi tayo ready. Di ba?
Yeah, just coming back, para sa mga bata and the parents of the kids, I'm talking about boys and girls. You know what we were saying, the chief says, in years before the third time. In school, when you're starting grassroots or what have you, or varsity, that's every year. That's after in 10 months' time, you have the chance again. Chieffy had years before he even got in to the main team, the main senior team. Tandaan nyo yan. So, you are not in a bad position, kids. You are not in a bad position. You have all that time. And those from private schools, you have all that time also to get my time, to get everything that's needed. Chieffy didn't have money to buy his own shoes, or even socks, let alone shin guards, or whatever. I'm sure it's all passed down, given, and it's not brand new. But look at him now. He endorses. Okay? He endorses. So, kids, be patient. Parents, be more patient. This is shout out mainly to the parents. Hinay-hinay lang naman sa mga anak nyo. Kung may frustration kayo, nung dati kayo, do not pick on your kids to do it. Okay? I'm talking about the helicopter syndrome. Wag. I can say it now. I'm online. I can say it now in public. You got a problem with it? Talk to me. in private, I'll deal with you. You know, I'll teach you what I'm saying. Kasi I've seen it. Not just in the school where I teach, but I've seen it in a lot of other schools as well. I hear from the kids, and some parents even come to me, kahit sa car wash. Kahit sa car wash, nagka-car wash ako, nagpapalinsan ako, may darating na dating estudyante ko or something, dating estudyante maybe from Ateneo, whatever, may anak siya, gusto niya football, gano'n. Tapos, coach kasi, ganito. So I always say, pare, relax ka lang. If the kid is really made for football, if he loves the sport, he'll be there. All you need to do is just support him.
Yeah.
But wag mo pilitin. Eh kung gusto niya mag-chess, pa-chess mo. You know, but don't. Kasi
one time... Natandaan mo nga dati nung umalis ako sa Borotac. That was 2000. Nung umalis ako sa bahay namin. Nung independent, okay. 'Di ba? So, umalis ako, sabi ko sa mother ko, "Nay, punta na ako ng Manila." Sabi ko kasi may tryouts for national team. 19 years old.
Okay.
Nung sinabi niya, pero hindi niya alam na kinukuha ko ng Air Force. Okay. Sinabi ko lang na football. Kasi once na sinabi ko na magiging military ako, lalo siyang kakabahan.
Di ba? Inaamin ng anak mo, Nay.
Di ba?
Pag uwi pwede mo paluin.
Lalo siyang kakabahan. So, sinabi ko sa kanya na may tryout yung Air Force para maging national team. Alam niya, papasok ko sa Air Force, sa football lang, hindi sa military. So, siyempre, hindi niya alam. Kasi, siyempre, at the age of 19, batang-bata, totoy, di ba? Galing probinsya. Yung, sabi niya, saan ka kukuha ng ganito? Hindi naman galing kami sa nothing na wala. Di ba? Meron din, pero kumbaga, siyempre, sa probinsya kasi, coach, alam mo naman, di ba? Pag probinsyano tayo, yung palaging, ay, kailangan, yung kapatid mo, puntahan mo si ganito. Sabi ko, hindi niya alam na, nung dumating na ako dito sa Manila, nandyan ako sa Air Force na. The day after, na-enlist ako. Hindi nila alam na, then next, pumasok na ako sa Air Force. Sabi ko, Nay, nakapasok na ako sa Air Force, sa football. Hindi nila alam na sundalo na pala ako. So, yun, sabi niya, sabi ng nanay ko na, sabi niya lang sa akin na, kung bakit kaya mo na ba? Sabi ko, kakayanin ko. At least, alam ko naman na, sabi ko sa sarili ko, sabi ko sa kanya na, alam ko naman na nandyan kayo eh. Kung ano yung nangyari sa akin, ano yung kagandahan na mapunta sa akin. Hindi naman to para sa akin lang. Para sa atin lahat. So, yun. Hindi siya nagsabi sa akin na, uy, dapat ganito muna yung gagawin mo, ganito muna. So, nung pumasok na ako sa military, nag-training na ako sa regular sa Armed Forces, yun, sinabihan ko sila na nasa sundalo na ako, ganito ako ngayon.
Ano reaction nila?
Gulat. Siyempre, sabi niya, buti na, siyempre, happy din sila, pero yung sasabihin pa ako na dapat hindi ka pumasok, hindi ako nakarinig na gano'n. Wala.
Yeah, that's the way it goes talaga. Kasi I remembered I have one player who's now a colonel in the Marines. Okay? I have other teammates also before who are generals now in the Philippine Air Forces. One actually became the spokesman, General Mabanta, Jolly. Okay? This other one, my player, all the brothers played football. Actually, one is coaching now the Ceres Club, Ceres Lasal Club, Ali, Roscoe, Chito. I remember the mom was showing him a brochure of any kind of Mercedes. Parang, anak, pumili ka lang anong coaching gusto mo, huwag ka na bumalik sa PMA. Okay? Yung mga barkada niya, yung mga estudyante ko, yung mga barkada niya nagbabasa ng mga Playboy. Siya, gun-ho, mercenary, and all that. Mahilig talaga. And ngayon, he's a colonel in the Marines. Okay? Yan, yung pagka-football or yung pagka-athlete, parang pagsisisiyo mo na yung military training, I think, no? I mean, at least here in the Philippines, I don't know. But, malaking bagay yung nagiging player ka, tapos tsaka ka pumasok sa military. Yung training, parang sanay ka na rin dun eh. Gigising maaga, tatakbo sa hirap, papawisan ka. At the same time, yung mga physical, how do you say, activities ng military, nakakatulong sa'yo sa football mo, sa sport mo, di ba? Kasi nako-competition ka eh.
Disiplina mo. Disiplina. Dami.
Maraming ganun eh. Talagang ibang klase. Alam mo, yung what I really liked one time, I don't know if it was the first year or second year of the UFL opening in Rizal. I was taking pictures there at the time. What I liked, and I still like until now when the Ascals are there, the military players, and not to ng Army and Navy, no, but it was only the Air Force, sarap tignan yung national anthem, that they're all standing in position and they're all in attention, chest out, all proud, with the salute, and all of them were looking, just one. The other units didn't do that. It's just the Air Force team. And you guys were in yellow.
Yeah.
You guys were in yellow. Remember that? In Rizal? Was that the first or second? Opening.
Sa
Rizal yun eh,
Rizal,
UFL.
yeah.
I think it was the first one. Or
Maybe. Probably the first.
First, I think, na yung talagang UFL now, sabi ko, I always tell other people, pare, tignan mo to. Yan ang sarap tignan. Yan ang sarap tignan. When Chief was still in the Air Force, ikaw, EDSA, Roel, Lener,
Margas, Ian. Ruel is Army.
Ian. Ayan na rin.
No. Military. I'm talking about the military.
Military.
Ascals ba? Ascals when the national anthem.
Yanti.
You can see, because I've seen other countries, their teams, may military player, pero they're not saluting.
Salute.
Iba. When I see that, when the camera starts panning on the players, individual palagi, one by one, right? Yung mga ibang civilians, straight out hand. Pero pagdating kay Chieffy, EDSA, Roel, sino ba yan, Boogie, and all that, with their salute. I mean, yan ang sarap tignan. But I'll never be a military. I'll be in the MILF or... pero sarap tignan. At yung discipline, yun sinasabi ni Chieffy. Yung discipline that you get in the military. Okay, of course, somebody's gonna start saying again about, yeah, but when the military plays, they play so dirty, they play like that.
No.
Okay, Chief is here. Even I would say, if my team will play in the military, Army, Navy, or what have you, syempre, yung tapang nila, they try to intimidate.
Yeah.
Iba naman yung talagang kinakatay or playing dirty, which everybody has naman in every team. Meron naman
dala lang sa training namin coach before yung agresibo ka, magiging aggressive ka. Dala lang yan minsan kumbaga sinasabi mo na i-intimidate ka. Dala lang minsan yung kumbaga minsan kasi pag hindi kami sa football side on duties, kumbaga minsan the officers call us na ganito in a hurry. So ang bilis, kung minsan ganun akala mo nasa duty ka pa. So minsan pag nasa football ka, sobrang bilis mo, nagiging agresibo ka, minsan hindi mo makontrol. Ganon.
Yeah. So ano pakiramdam doon? Yun nga, balik tayo doon sa dapat natin pag-uusapan ngayon. Layo na natin narating. Yung mga armed forces na mga games yan, dati talaga madalas na nagkakaaway, yung talagang tapos sobra yung game, talagang intense talaga. Ano ba yung culture na yun? Like, paano nangyayari yung mga rivalry na ganyan?
Siyempre, it's pride yan. Pride yan. Pride yan ng, siyempre, one unit, Armed Forces of the Philippines. Pero, different branches. Navy, Air Force, and Army. So, pride yan. Pride ng Air Force, pride ng Army. Hindi yan magpapatalo eh. Siyempre, may kanya-kanyang responsibility yan. Kanya-kanyang, kumbaga, sa isip yan. Air Force to, Air Force to. Army to, Army to. Navy to, Navy to. So, hindi magpapatalo yung bawat isa. So, after ng game yun, a friend ulit. Di ba? Ganun lang. Pero hindi naman ganun kasama, ganun yung tackle.
I think it's also the way the spectator watches it. Okay? I mean, I'm a coach. If I see it, of course I will make, pa rin yan eh. That's part of the game na you tell the referee, oy, bantay mo naman yan. Mga emotion, mga dumi, ganun. Because I've had comments on Facebook regarding the Air Force Pachanga game. And I heard people telling me straight, yung Archers versus Loyola. I said, come on. A lot of people have been fans for so long, they think they know the sport. What they see. Hindi na bata to na if you watch in Europe the way they play, a sliding tackle is not gonna be here, man. It's gonna be up here. So let me show my boots. Okay. Yung, di ba? Chieffy can attest to this. Anybody from the Ascals can attest to this. Iba yung dito, ito, nagreklamo na kayo yung dumi. Yung hard, rough play. Go to watch the internationals.
International game.
Nako, grabe.
And dito sa atin, bihira lang gumagamit ng 6 studs. Di ba? Kasi we're using artificial turf. Pero pag sa labas ka, it's standard field. Yung grass, real grass. And they're using talaga 6 studs.
6 studs.
So,
and it's how do you say, it's longer.
Longer.
Than the multi-studded shoes that we have here. It's longer. So,
hindi pa ganun yung nakita nila dito. Compare mo sa international competition.
Pag nakakatikim ka doon.
Oo, sobra talaga. Mag-feel mo talaga. Mag-feel mo talaga.
Alam mo, ang ko, guys, Jim, Chieffy, ang take on this way, the way the Filipinos sees the matches here is their condition, the sobrang paternal and maternal instinct of a Filipino and Filipina. Parang, ayaw na isahan eh. Ang Pinoy, ayaw maisahan. So, kunwari, pag final kita sa likod, pinifal talaga kita ganun, yeah, there will be people getting mad, there might be a squabble for a minute, there'll be a push here, there. Pero, hindi alam, may mga professional fouls. There are professional fouls. Okay? In football, there are professional fouls. We'll talk about and discuss about that, what are professional fouls. You know, pero the fan, sila yung galit, sila yung ganito, ganyan, hindi nila naintindihan na, what do you think football is? It's a physical game, for crying out loud. It's a physical game. It's a man's game. Even the girls, you say, when they play, they body up like that. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na meron, syempre, mga players na magulang talaga, na gusto talaga isaktan yung...
Iba yung parang
iba yung talaga. Makikita mo naman talaga eh.
At yung maraming dyan, hindi nila naintindihan. It's physics also, guys. When somebody falls and you get slapped like this, hindi ibig sabihin na pag ganun ko, sinadya ko na i-slap ko yung mukha. Tanga ba ako? Nandiyan yung referee, makita, dahil sasampalin ko, alam ko mga red card ako.
Minsan may ganun. Mga player na ganun.
But only a few of that, if you compare to players who really play the football for the merit. Merit of the sport. What I'm saying is, physics. I'm about to fall, I'm in the air, I'm off balance, elbows will come out, fists will come out. Okay? Why don't you complain when you see it on TV? In England, in Spain, like that, you see really bad ones, talagang bang, pero hindi talagang, because you cannot jump like this.
Siyempre.
Nobody, who do you see jumps like this? Any sport, nobody jumps like this. So you jump, you have balance. So it come out, this is one example. Iba, look at the game for the merits of the game, not at a certain player who is, of course, there are players that are noted to be dirty. But what is dirty to you? It's objective. It's subjective. Subjective, it's how you see it. I mean, I've been there for so long. I coach. I know what is sadya. I know what is sadya. Yung sure na talagang habol talaga masaktan. Kasi meron, you can see the eyes You look at the eye of a player. If I'm running at the player's looking like this, for sure, habol niya, bang, to hurt or whatever. Pero pag habol na if something happens, he gets off balance, sigurado magtatamaan. Pero siyempre, iba yung naka-fist ka na sumisimple ka, boom. Iba na yun.
Pero madami lang yung mga ganyan, yung mga tirahan na konti, siko dito, konting...
Meron dyan kasi ang Pinoy, ang feeling ko sa Pinoy, even the referees, sorry nga ang referees sinasabi ko sa inyo, they take things personal. Pag si Chieffy may kalaban na kunyari, example lang pero I'm not saying the Chieffy, na from another team, whatever team that is, okay, bantay ni Chieffy, same position, opposite lang, na tinira ni Chieffy or nagulangan ni Chieffy noon, sasabihin ng isang player, tangina, I'll get you next time. Naging personal, just like our referees. Pag may isang referee, coach na sumigaw, or official sumigaw, nagkaroon ng next game, patay ka. Katulad yung nangyari sa amin.
Yung Air Force dati, 10 years ka doon, naglalaro, sobrang dami yung trophies na napanalo. Until now, sila pa rin ang winningest team sa UFL. 2 UFL Cups, 2 UFL, 2 leagues na pinanalo nyo. Anong pakiramdam na masama doon sa kuponan na yan? Na kasama mo si Yanti Barsales, si Ayan Araneta, na kayo talaga yung, kumbaga, tinitingnan na standard na kailangan habulin.
Masaya at masaya na makasama mo yung mga best players in the Philippines like Ian Araneta, Peter Haugan, Yanti Barsales, lalo na si Yanti. Yung makikita mo talaga the way he play pag nasa Air Force kami dati. Hindi yung nag-give up basta-basta. Lahat yun, grabe. Si Yanti, sila Jobel Bermejo, sila Jezreel Toneg, until now, naglalaro pa. So yun yung mga good example sa mga kids ngayon na hanggang ngayon, yung passion nila, hanggang ngayon, yung puso, gusto talaga maglaro ng football. Until, kahit na nandyan sila sa Air Force ngayon, di ba? So, masaya. And, daming humahabol pa rin sa Air Force ngayon. Kasi, yun nga, two champion in the cup, 2 champion in the league. So, ano lang, iba talaga dati kasi nung Air Force is Air Force pa rin. Pero yung nga sabi na may time, may yung panahon mo talaga. May panahon ngayon na may team talaga mas malakas ngayon.
Like
so,
systems
siguro,
always change through time. Things change.
Cycle.
Pero ako, nung nasa Air Force ako, I mean the best team talaga noon. Halos lahat yung national players. Halos lahat kami noon nasa Ascals kami, Raymart Palmes, Peter Haugan, Ian Araneta, Yanti Barsales, Jubel Bermejo, Tats Mercado, Joel Balyoalio, halos lahat nung nasa national team. So, wala ka nang hanapin eh. Wala ka nang hanapin. Kalaban mo dito naman, sila Roel Hiner, Bugi Margarce, Edsa, Sakapanyo. So, we're in the best player, best team, best staff, very organized team noon dati. So, hindi mo na masasabi na wala ka nang hanapin before eh. So, kumbaga, good start from nung nagsimula yung UFL. So, kumbaga nakikita ng mga ibang teams na, but pwede naman natin gawin na ganito like Air Force eh. But umpisahan na natin ngayon. So, yung time na yun nasa Air Force ako, very good team, very, kumbaga, organized team, kumbaga, yung team captain si Yanti and Jezreel Toneg, nakikita mo talaga na the way mag-push ng isang player in a positive way talaga. So, happy ako noon na nasa Air Force ako noon. So, pero ngayon, siyempre, yung sabi ko nga, coach, na panahon namin yan noon. Like, panahon yung iba ngayon.
So, kano kasakit para sa'yo yung, tatanungin ko pala, kung masakit nga ba sa'yo na kailangan mong umalis ka na, pumunta ka na sa Green Archers United, anong pakiramdam na pag nakakalaban mo yung Air Force, or pag naglalaro sila, pinabamasdan mo pa rin ba?
Kahit isipin mo noon, hindi, ako, pag binibigyan ako ng chance na nasa Air Force ako pag pinapasok, alam naman, paano ako maglaro, di ba? Hindi naman sabihin na, ay, kalaban ko yung Green Archers, dapat hinay-hinay lang ako kasi baka ito yung magiging team ko someday. No, hindi. Di ba? Hindi ako nag-iisip ngayon. Alam naman nila na all out ako noon, 100%, 110% pag naglalaro kahit sino naman itapat sa amin noon. Wala kaming iniisip, Global or Loyola or Green Archers or sino pa, Pachanga, wala. Pero, kung ano yung nawala ako sa Air Force, nandyan ako sa Green Archers, the same thing. The same lang ano yung nilalaro ko. Wala akong sinasabi na ipinuput down ko yung team ko dati, yung sinasabihan ko na, ay, tatalunin namin. No? Ano pa rin ako, kung ano yung laro ko dati sa Air Force, pinapakita ko, the same thing sa teammates ko sa Green Archers United.
For the information of the public, okay, yung sinasabi ni Chieffy na noon pa inisip niya, dito siya maglaro, no. It is all by chance that Chieffy, we were fortunate to have Chieffy with us in the Green Archers United Football Club. It all started in the beach. Tama ba? In Batangas, somebody saw it, nakausap. It just so happens na eksakto na Chieffy was on his last few months or weeks in the Air Force. And it just so happens that we of Green Archers, our manager mainly, Monchu, got to see Chieffy all by chance. It was all by chance. One talk after the other, and then here he is. He's with us. I mean, I think it's meant to be. Okay, it's meant to be because everybody knows that Globe Telecom is the main sponsor of the Green Archers United Football Club in
Classmate
the
mo ata, coach, no? Classmate mo si
hindi man classmate. Hindi pwede classmate kasi bulak-bulak ko siya yung nerd. He's talking about Ernest Koo, the CEO of Globe. And I think it was planned out by somebody else, mightier than all of us, that Globe was a sponsor, and then Chieffy came in, and now Chieffy is the ambassador. How do you call it? Ambassador for
Globe.
For Globe, ambassador of football.
Sports ambassador.
Sports ambassador for Globe. So it's like what did Hannibal say in the 18? I love it when a plan
comes together,
or falls in place or something like that. So ganun nangyayari. So wag nyo isipin na kapag nasa Air Force pa si Chieffy, inaano na namin yun.
Wala.
Okay, hindi. Hindi namin naisip na si Chieffy, kasi naisip namin Chieffy will live and die with Air Force na. Kaya hindi namin alam yun. So it's all by chance, okay? For the public, for information. We are very fortunate to have Chieffy in our lineup, in our team, because he also has given us a lot of leadership. The leadership quality of Chieffy is there. Considering he's one of the, not the tallest guys, not the biggest guys, but he gives the leadership.
Original.
That the respect of the other players of ours when Chieffy came in, andun na, kita mo na kagad. Not because of the ASCALs na football went up and all that. No. It is because of the man himself, not because of what he was a part of. It's because of him. Okay? And because we have only a few minutes left, you're going to close it. But what I'm saying, I've said it, I've posted this a lot of times, I've said it in public, not to put all the other ASCAL players down, but I'm saying, Chieffy Caligdong is the true ASCAL. For me, he is the real ASCAL. Just like I said, Dan Palami is the Renaissance man who has started all of this. Chieffy, I'm not saying this because he's my guest now, he's my player. I don't have to say that. I'm not going to pay his salary anyway. No? I don't need to kiss ass, especially if it's my player. He should be kissing my ass, not the other way around. Okay, but
I'll treat you another coffee later.
Hoy, ako nagbayad dyan.
Ako na mamaya.
Pero what I'm saying is, and for the kids, okay, one player that you should really emulate here in the Philippines, especially in football, not just maybe football, but the attitude and the character and the personality of a certain athlete, among others. We have so many other Filipino athletes that you can emulate. But while I'm here now and Chief is here now, I think one of the best athletes to emulate would be Mr. Emilio Chieffy Caligdong. Of course, for the matter that nobody really knows, hasn't heard, he's called Chieffy because his grandfather was the chief of police. Okay, of Barotac, Nuevo and Iloilo. So, this guy, look, what do they say about big things come up from small packages?
Something like that. That's a cliche.
Hey, you should know that. You're the nerd.
Nerd.
You're the student. Bulak-bulak ko, hindi ko alam yan. Ano yun dyan? Alam niyo, Pico? Hindi niyo rin alam, no?
Big things come in small packages.
Big things come in small. See? He had to prove himself, man, or else. You know?
I have value in this show.
Sayang education background niya. So, once again, big packages come in. Big things come in small packages. One true example is here, the guy here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so take it away.
How old are you now, Chieffy?
31.
31. So the goal was to play for the national team, to get to the highest level. What is it now at 31?
Yeah, same pa rin kung ano yung tinatayuan ko ngayon. Yeah, the different lang. Like before, nung may nagamit ako before, ngayon sumusobra. But I always share it. Kung ano yung blessings ko, ano yung nakita ko sa mga teammates ko, kung walang magamit, sinishare ko. And yun nga sabi ko sa kids ko, kaya kung nakikita ko dati nung wala ako, hindi naman sinasabi ko na dapat may ganun yung... I always thinking kasi yung future yung mahaba, papunta pa lang, iniisip ko na yan So, ganun ako mag-isip. So, iba. Yung kumbaga, I always, papunta pa lang yung pupuntahan ko. I always think na kaagad kung paano ko yan masusolusyonan. So, ganun ako. So, kumbaga, same lang. Yung attitude ko, yung ginagawa ko dati, paano ko makatulong and like sa mga kids, sa mga clinics, ano yung pwede ko pang ibigay, mas sobra pa doon. Same lang. Hindi ako yung nagpapa-importante na tao. So, kung dati, di ba, yung sinasabi ni Coach na yung wala ako dati, wala akong equipments, ngayon meron na. So, the same lang. Di ba? So, sinishare ko lang. At saka, kung ano yung attitude ko noon na nasa Air Force ako, nasa civilian side ako, same lang. Kung ano yung nirespeto ako ng mga tao.
What goes around, comes around.
Yeah.
Matagal ka pa maglalaro? Hopefully?
Siguro...
Galing, pwede tayo. Pare, yan ang iniisip ko rin question eh. Anong pinili ko po, host? Dito siguro sa local sa UFL siguro mga 3 to 4 years pa. Pero sa national team siguro mga 1 year, 2 years pa. Yan ang sinasabi mo.
We'll see, right?
Yan ang sinasabi mo. 3-4 years? Oy, excuse me, matagal ka.
Pag nakikita ko si Jess,
ano ambisyo to eh?
Pag nakikita ko si Jess Tonog, parang baka pwede ka pa 10 years eh.
Depende. Hindi naman
ambisyo lang ni Chieffy ang pamilya niya.
Oo.
So that's a good vice.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Ambisyon lang yan. So I don't believe 3-4 years local. I don't also believe 1 year, maybe 2 years in international.
We'll see. We'll see. Great role model for everybody who's just coming up learning about football. Chieffy Caligdong, idol of mine for over a decade.
Thanks.
Like or just about a decade. It's great to have you on the show.
Nahulog ka sa kama mo, ako pa yung dahilan.
So
you make him sound so fucking old.
No, man. I mean,
isipin mo nung naglalaro ako sa Suki Cup, high school pa lang daw siya.
That's the great thing about it.
College ako. Paano nangyayari yun?
Ano pa lang siya? 31 pa lang siya.
Oh.
So, madami pa siyang magagawa sa buhay niya. Nagawa niya na yun sa akin. Dati pa.
Nag-evade sa topic.
Ikaw eh.
Hindi yan ang ginagawa namin ni Chieffy.
Pinapasamaan niyo. So, thank you once again. Chieffy, salamat sa pagpunta mo. Hopefully, you'll come back soon. We appreciate talking to you.
Yun nga, sinabi ni Coach Hans na explain natin sa mga football side, di ba? So, yung mga football fans na ano talaga yung tunay na football player. Right. Naintindihan nila. Dapat masabi natin ng totoo kung ano yung buhay futbolista. Kasi hindi nila naranasan kasi yung iba salita ng salita, hindi nila naranasan like Coach Hans, di ba? Right. Yung sinasabi ni Coach Hans nga, hindi siya Pilipino, pero yung puso ba na naramdaman ni Coach Hans na every time na nakita niya yung mga all potentials na best players in the Philippines, naramdaman niya. Right. 'Di ba? So dapat maintindihan ng mga football fans and ng mga Pilipino, 'di ba? Na dapat
perfectly said.
FYI, this taping I requested to make it about an hour and a half earlier. Was it an hour earlier?
About an hour earlier.
An hour earlier because today is the day that Green Archers is playing the Philippine Air Force, which Chief was just mentioning about, and the names that he's mentioning, who's gonna be killing him later in a few hours' time. We're playing for the third place in the UFL Cup. Okay?
And the finals, of course, Loyola versus
Pachanga. I will not make any predictions now, but I know who's gonna win it. Okay. So again, it's very difficult to have Chieffy, a very busy guy, among other things, he doesn't play, he does a lot of other things, in fact, no? That's why he's here now. From here, after we sign off, he is off.
Flying.
He's flying off to make the player ID check before our match.
So, dinidelay mo pa eh. Sige na. So, we're gonna wrap this up.
Gano'ng kagaling magmaneho to eh.
Thank you to Sarah's South Football Club, of course, for sponsoring the show. You guys are awesome. You help us do this and allow us to sit down with great people like Chieffy Caligdong for an hour and a half. You wanted to thank somebody, Coach Hans?
Oh yeah. Before we close, I'd like to thank personally right now Dr. Vince Gomez for doing his procedural hip replacement on my mother.
Oh, your mother?
Yes,
not you.
No, I don't need any hip replacement.
I
need brain replacement. Dr. Vince Gomez, thank you very much. You're a true Lasallian. He didn't charge me a single centavo, which is quite a certain amount.
Wow.
And I would like to personally thank also Monchu and Tina Garcia, Monchu, manager of our club, for giving me a substantial amount in helping to cover the expenses of for my mother's condition at the Makati Medical Center. So, you guys, thank you. You're real Lasalites and Lasalians. God bless you all. Thank you.
We're done, folks. It's another edition of Hands On. Next week, we'll catch you guys again. Another Thursday, another guest, another conversation. We'll see you guys then.
You know who our guest is when we know.